Hello, this is TVWAN News. Thanks for joining us. In this edition, ICAC officers referred for alleged financial misconduct. St. John's Ambulance lay get permanent office, and hunters hold of pride. The National Court today had submissions on the verdict of allegations of misappropriation and abuse of office against Paul Paraka's co-abused Jacob Yafai. Presiding Judge Chief Justice Segib Salika had submissions from both the state and the Defence Counsel. The state in each submission stated that Yafai had the Section 32 officer make the alleged payment to Paraka law firm despite knowing that the alleged payment was illegal. However, the defense in their submission stated that Yafai was acting on the directive issued by the then Department Secretary Stephen Gibson to make the payments. After hearing the submissions, Salika preserved the ruling for a later date. Jacob Yafai, former Deputy Secretary of Finance, faces 1 count of abuse of office and 4 counts of misappropriation for the alleged misuse of over 41 million kina, allegedly paid by the Department of Finance to the Paraka lawyers between 2012 and 2013. 2 senior officials of the Independent Commission Against Corruption has been referred to the police for investigation. ICAC Commissioner Andrew Forbes had initiated the referral of the officers upon discovering the alleged financial misconduct.
The Independent Commission Against Corruption Commissioner Andrew Forbes, when confirming the referral of 2 senior officials, declared that the Public Finance Management Act 1995 requires the Commissioner as the departmental head to establish internal controls and take necessary actions to ensure the efficient, effective, economical and ethical use of public money and property for which he is responsible for. In serious circumstances, Forbes explained that these will include escalating such matters to the appropriate law enforcement agency. The decision reflects ICAC's commitment to the principles of transparency, integrity and accountability, values that are key to its mandate. Forbes said ICAC wishes to make clear that it will not be naming the individuals involved at this stage to uphold due process and avoid ongoing inquiries. He stated that ICAC acknowledges and appreciates the support of key government authorities who have been instrumental in ensuring this matter was managed promptly with professionalism and discretion. Forbes reiterated that he does not tolerate misconduct at any level, and when serious allegations arise, they will be subject to appropriate scrutiny. ICAC remains fully operational and continues its work in the fight against corruption. Susan Oreape, TV1 News.
The Papua New Guinea University of Technology in Lae has rebranded itself through the launching of a new website address. Formerly known as Unitech, the institution has launched the PNG UOT website to reflect the change in its official and approved abbreviation.
The Papua New Guinea University of Technology in Lae, Morobe Province, commonly referred to as Unitech, has changed its name to the official and approved abbreviation PNG UOT. To complement this official change, the institution launched its new website on Friday, May 30th, at the House Europa Conference Room. An ecstatic Vice-Chancellor, Professor Ora Renagi, said the academic board has formally approved the acronym PNG UOT to reflect the activities within the organization.
Earlier, leaders decided that we will have a website and call it www.unitech.ac.pg. We are replacing Unitech and putting PNG UOT as the website name. That also falls in very well with our new email addresses. you will notice that our email addresses are now with pngot.ac.pg. Unitech is a very general name. It does not give us the identity as a university in Papua New Guinea. Unitech is very general. There are many other universities around the world that call themselves universities of technology, and they use the same name. GEOT is the acronym that the academic board approved, and that makes us proud as a unique identity between Papua New Guinea and the world.
Aside from launching the new website, PNGUOT has made it clear that they are the custodian owner of the .pg domain, and changes are anticipated, especially with the domain fee that is paid by a domain registrant. A registrant or end user refers to an individual or organization that registers a domain name with the registry, which in this case is the PNGUOT. Registrants will be placed under categories to determine how much they can pay, as opposed to the standard fee of 300 kina for 2 years. Registrants use the domain name service of .com.pg, .org.pg, .edu.pg, .ac.pg, and .gov.pg. Kamala Guare, TV1 News, Lae.
St. John Ambulance now has a permanent presence in Lae, Morobe Province, following the opening of their new ambulance station on Friday, May 30th. The first respondents have been operating out of a makeshift office at the Lae Fire Station since 2022.
Since its establishment in Lae in 2022, St. John Ambulance has served over 20,000 people in Morobe Province, operating out of a makeshift office within the Lae Fire Station premises along Milford Haven Road. Though it is supported annually by the Lae City Authority, the emergency ambulance service also extends a helping hand to the nearby districts of Huon Gulf, Nawai, and Bulolo. On Friday, May 30th, another milestone in health service delivery was celebrated when the SJA opened its new Lae ambulance station, thanks to funding support from the PNG Australia Policing Partnership.
Good. 1, 2, 3.
St. John's Assistant Commissioner, Executive Director, Clinical Systems and Enterprise, Dr. Arabella Koliwan, applauded this as a significant step forward in delivering emergency service within the province.
Once the station is complete, this represents a commitment of 840,000 kina in order to refurbish the existing facility and also add new modular facilities in order to expand the station. The facility includes a kitchenette, staff amenities, bathrooms, toilets, sleeping quarters, also station offices and on-call rooms for overnight operation. Partnership is really important to a core part of how we deliver the service, and our biggest partners really are the community, the people that we serve. Since establishing in 2022, this ambulance station has responded to more than 20,000 cases within Lae City and the surrounding Morobe Province, and we really rely on the community to support our operations, particularly in keeping our ambulance officers safe. We're really disappointed at times, it doesn't happen all the time, when we have instances of violence directed towards our ambulance staff. We're here to help the community. We're here for the service of the Lae community in the surrounding Morobe Province. We're really just looking for everybody to support the work that we do, recognize that we're here for their benefit, and engage in positive ways with the ambulance service.
Kamala Guare, TV1 News, Lae.
This is TVWAN News. Child abuse figures high and Minape donates to Suda. We'll have those stories and more after the break.
Tell him shorty come get it in. Come grind on me, but met it in. Mommy get loose, get loose, get loose. Pepsi in my hand, ice cold, no excuse. I tell him who's gonna bring the roof down. Pepsi with the fresh sound. Tell him who's gonna bring the roof down. Pepsi with the fresh sound. Pepsi, give me some Pepsi bottle. Pepsi, you like it? Pepsi, you like it? Pepsi bottle.
Hurry PNG and enter today to be considered for the 2025 Power Play PNG Awards. Brought to you by ExxonMobil and the PNG LNG project, these awards recognize exceptional Papua New Guineans making significant contributions in the LNG and decarbonization industries. Could you be Papua New Guinea's next great power player? There's only one way to know. Enter now to find out.
Sabe tu olsem condom and one way where you can abrusim seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancy? Tingim, use condom long right way. Stop safe na look out him you yet. Use condom all get a time. Suppose you know save long HIV status long partner blong you or suppose you got plenty partner. Use condom good all get a time. Long haborusim seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancies. Use condom banisim you yet na future blong you. This platok save ikam long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
Hunters, and now here they go, the Hunters are going to score, they're going to score.
Beautiful ball away, and the captain has gone in for his second.
And here's Tielemans, and he scores! Stengel, oh, he's kicked another!
Munda wasn't a great pass, but he forces his way over. It's a try to the deal.
What about the pass? It would have been a long one for Watson.
Welcome back. Minister for Defence Dr. Billy Joseph has attended the 22nd edition of the International Institute of Strategic Studies Shangri-La Dialogue from May 30th to June 1st, 2025 in Singapore. This is an intergovernmental security conference held annually in Singapore.
The International Institute of Strategic Studies Shangri-La Dialogue is commonly attended by defense ministers, permanent heads of ministries, and military chiefs of mostly Asia-Pacific states. The dialogue is designed to promote conversations on important regional security trends while engaging in a full range of discussions and bilateral meetings. The security dialogue started on May 30th with bilateral meetings where Minister Joseph had the opportunity to meet with his counterparts from across the region, including New Zealand, Chile, and Singapore, to discuss shared security challenges and opportunities for closer defense cooperation. At the bilateral meeting with New Zealand Defence Minister Judith Collins, Dr. Billy reaffirmed the warm and friendly defence ties between PNG and New Zealand and expressed commitment to continue cooperation bilaterally as well as on the South Pacific Defence Ministers meeting. Susan Oreape, TVWAN News.
Meantime, during the bilateral meeting between Minister for Defence Dr. Billy Joseph and Singapore Defence Minister Chan Sung Sing, both leaders underscored the importance of cultivating a sense of community and enhancing defence diplomacy to address current and emerging security issues and challenges in the region. Dr. Billy was also invited by the Chilean Undersecretary of Defence, Ricardo Montero Allende, to attend the upcoming South Pacific Defence Ministers meeting later this year in Chile. Dr. Billy indicated his attendance and highlighted the need for both countries to support the agendas of SDL and SPDMM, which are crucial for regional security and stability across the wider Indo-Pacific. Middle Ramu District has decided to open up the donkey trailing track as a tourist attraction. The track is located in the breathtaking mountains Simbai in the Madang region. A ribbon cutting ceremony marked the first phase of initializing all the groundwork to set up Kairok village, where the track begins as tourist destination.
The Donkey Trail was established by Anglican church missionaries in 1960. The Anglican missionaries brought Christianity to Simbai region in 1958. The church's outreach included establishing schools, aid posts, and rural airstrips. At one point, they brought donkeys to carry cargo along a mountainous Simbai for the missionaries. Kairong village elders have been maintaining the track. After deciding to make it a tourist attraction, they've officially named it Donkey Trailing Track. This was communicated to Middle Ramu MP Kansol Kamdaru, who travelled to Kairong on Friday, 23rd May, to initiate this tourist attraction plan and commission a guest house. Kamdaru said there is a lot of work left in registering integrated land groups before the track can be opened to visitors.
Mino kamap me bayat na mi stop na mi arem disla. But time mi kami chalong government mi arem disla nem na first bla commitment mi bin wekim. Na mi tok thank you long samla something ipla make him long here. Lo make him do down ipla make him all house, organize him all team, na make him all sem. But thank you long good plus strong ipla make him na come ipla saplongan Mr. Bakshar long support him ipla. Long strong na lo ting ting blong mi lo make him disla track come up. Now all people must look sabe. Now tourists must come lo. Go on Simbai, Arabaga Joseph style.
The local MP said he would see to it that this initiative is funded by the government. He added there must be a well-coordinated collaboration between the government and a steering committee for the tourism initiative.
I want them all man. We said Renfort, Bill Chris na iblaw committee ko pass longan. Iblagan sap timotem na yumi. Log long display.
The donkey trailing track holds historical ties and values for the people of Simbai. Local teacher Samson Hawek said this initiative is sustainable with spin-offs that the villagers can benefit from without having to travel to town in search of opportunities.
You know, like stop angry. You plan him one but sit on this place where now you can cut him ribbon. Me progress witness him finish long.
Lands Officer Aaron Sikdum and Provincial Commerce Officer Esron Dodge have begun initial groundwork for donkey trailing track.
Location Sambagan, I'll be no government. You have this away. Leader, this guy, you know, lawyer, but any come cover him all of Middle Ramu Tasor. Bamito goes him. Best project Middle Bobima. Suppose me come up good and benefit him the entire Middle Ramu district.
The track attraction will begin at Ayome and end at Dusin. Tourists will experience bird watching, waterfalls, traditional lifestyle activities, and camping. Salome Vincent, TVWAN News.
And now the finance news. The Kina closed unchanged at $0.2438 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our Kina was buying $0.2363 $0.3642 Australian dollars, €0.2003 and 33.65 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, cocoa, copra and crude oil closed higher. Coffee and copper closed lower, and palm oil closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX closed lower, and all ordinaries closed lower as well. TV1 News continues after the break. Stay with us.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
What would you say to 6 months free bonus credit? Wowee! That's right! Get the Wowee 4G LTE smartphone from Digicel and you'll enjoy 35 kina bonus credit every month for 6 months, plus a whopping 50 gigs of data and 60 minutes free talk for 7 days. Hurry! Get your Wowee 4G LTE smartphone for only 199 kina at a Digicel store or agent today and say Wowee to a total of 210 kina free credit. Only with Digicel.
The Lions Tour 2025.
Ain't you got something to make it smile? Ooh, sweet and loving God.
Afternoon, gentlemen. We're looking for some men, good men like yourself.
Ooh, it's joy.
Nice suit. You are the men who gave them the power to destroy themselves.
I like a good adventure.
I'm looking for an adventure of my own.
Simple farm boy.
Not at all.
Everybody, behave.
We are sexy. And that's the way, I like it.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
I claim this city for the glory of Rome. Strength and honor.
I told you to take that jacket off.
You'd have to kill me to get this jacket off.
At some point, we have to face up to who we are.
Open the tube!
Who we're meant to be.
My name is Willy Wonka.
He's good.
Too good.
Come back. Through the Palm Migrant Worker Scheme are not getting appropriate information and affordable access to sexual health services. The research highlights issues with access to contraception, antenatal care, abortion, STI screening and treatment, as well as workers experiencing cohesion, discrimination and gender-based violence. Australian National University's Lindy Cannan has been investigating the experiences of workers from Pacific Island countries and Timor-Leste employed in Australia under the PALM scheme. The final report, titled "It's Not Illegal to be Pregnant," has outlined systematic issues as well as incidents of PALM participants facing discrimination, cohesion, hardship, harassment, assault and difficulty accessing appropriate and affordable health care. The ANU report suggested a lack of information about the availability of local abortion services, fear of cost, or a shame of shame could be factors pushing PALM workers to extreme alternatives. Hundreds of people have gathered in central Sydney in solidarity with the family of a young Aboriginal man from the Central Australian community of Yuendamu. The 24-year-old died after being restrained by police in Alice Spring early this week.
Well, this rally may seem a long way from Alice Springs, where on Tuesday an Indigenous man died after being restrained by police officers inside a local supermarket. But many here at the rally say this is an issue that's close to home. They say it's yet another Indigenous death while in police custody, and they want answers and action. 24-year-old Kumanjai White was a young Indigenous man with a disability. Police say he was seen putting shopping items down the front of his clothing when he was confronted and restrained by police. Many at this rally say the actions were completely unjustified. They've expressed their anger, they've expressed much sorrow, and we've heard calls for action.
The family, the community demand an independent investigation.
I'm a black mum right now, so if you see me struggling with my words, put your heart and put your mind in the soul of a black mother right now.
An autopsy on Wednesday found the cause of the man's death was undetermined. Northern Territory Police have rejected calls for an outside investigation into what happened, but advocates say they'll keep campaigning for that to happen.
China has accused the US for making groundless accusations about developing threats by Beijing, particularly in its aggressive stance toward Taiwan. China objected to US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth comments that called on allies in the Indo-Pacific region to spend more on defense after warning of China's real and potentially imminent threat. Earlier, Mr. Hegseth warned at the Shangri-La Dialogue in Singapore that China's army is rehearsing for the real deal to invade Taiwan. Hu Jianfeng, vice president of China's National Defense University, said the accusations were nothing more than attempts to provoke trouble, incite division and stir up confrontation to destabilize the Asia-Pacific region. China views Taiwan as its own territory, has vowed to reunify with the democratic and separately governed island by force if necessary. Taiwan's government rejects Beijing's sovereignty claims, saying only the island people can decide their future. The Queensland government has announced an additional 90,000 hectares of land has been designated as protected areas, much of it in the far north. The announcement has been welcomed by conservation groups. However, with the state a long way of its protected areas goals, they say a lot more needs to be done.
With an eye to the Olympics, the Premier wants to show Queensland's natural beauty to the world.
It takes money, but to not do it is an investment in stupidity. We have to get this right.
He's announced 8,700 hectares of new protected areas and a pledge to create much more. 6,000 hectares has been added to the Wet Tropics World Heritage Area and 18 nature refuges created across the state. A modest expansion, but the Premier has lofty goals.
And that is to increase protected areas in one term in Queensland at a greater rate than the former government did across the decade.
Conservation groups say the ambition is encouraging and have welcomed the time pressure brought by the Games.
The world is going to be coming to Queensland for the Olympics, and we want to be able to show it off. We don't want to be able to say this is where koalas or quolls used to be.
However, the government is also opening up 9 new areas for gas exploration.
They're giving with one hand and they're taking away with this new announcement of 1.6 million hectares for new gas exploration.
I'd say it's complementary. It's about increasing our protected area, so we do the right thing by the environment, and it's about sustainably investing in the gas industry.
The protection of koala habitat is a recurring theme in this announcement. Many of the areas protected are tiny parcels of land that connect larger protected areas. Experts say while they don't look like much, these connected pathways are crucial to the species' survival.
We have isolated patches like we do in the Gold Coast and in Brisbane and Redlands. We've got koalas in parks and they're isolated. They're going to die out.
Rebecca Larkin says more protected areas are needed in the southeast, and incentives for landholders is the only way to do it.
Private individuals, there are a lot more of them, and they can have a much bigger impact if they get the support.
Tomato growers impacted by strict restrictions following detection of a fruit virus last year say they hope they can now rebuild their lives as South Australian government considers relaxing the rules. Officials say they have given up hopes of eradicating the tomato virus and are now focusing on managing it.
Millions of tomato plants thrown in the bin and hundreds of job losses were the consequences for Perfection Fresh last year when a tomato virus was first detected.
It was heartbreaking, it was devastating, words fail me, but it was terrible. One of the worst days of my career was the day that I had to stand in front of nearly 500 people and tell them that we had no job for them.
The major fruit and vegetable grower north of Adelaide was one of 3 impacted businesses to face strict restrictions after officials decided to try to eradicate the tomato brown rugose fruit virus in South Australia rather than manage the virus. Now, the National Management Group has conceded eradication is no longer possible with the virus detected in Victoria.
For the 3 businesses, it's been incredibly difficult. And for others who were originally trace properties, it was also very challenging. But we have over 200 growers here in South Australia, and they have been able to continue to trade with the other states throughout this time.
It could have been better managed, in our opinion. We advocated from day one that this virus needed to be managed and eradication was impossible, we thought.
Despite the changed approach, the 3 impacted businesses will continue to face strict conditions when moving tomatoes interstate, at least for now. But the government says it's now weighing up options to change those testing requirements.
We're working with the other jurisdictions to work out what that will look like. Some jurisdictions may still have testing requirements, and that's what's being worked through as we speak.
Hope for impacted growers after a tough few months.
The Federal Energy Minister says Australia is on track to have 82% of all electricity generated by renewables by the end of the decade. But the target has come with challenges, including the rising cost of grid management.
In early April, about a week after the election was announced, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese announced a $2.3 billion plan to subsidise home batteries, to go with rooftop solar.
Slashing your power bills permanently.
It was Labor's second most expensive election promise, but it never became a big part of the campaign. However, that policy, due to kick off on July the 1st with 30% cash discounts, represents a big change in Australia's energy transition. And a week ago, we learned why. The Australian Energy Market Operator published an obscure document called the Draft 2025 Electricity Network Options Report, which contained this graph. Now, each bar represents the cost increase in 2 years for 10 transmission line projects that are designed to bring electricity from big solar and wind farms in the bush to cities where the power is needed. The cost increases range from 11% to more than 60%. The average is 31% in 2 years. Not only has the cost of building new transmission suddenly become prohibitive, there's also what AEMO calls the social licence problem. That is, no one wants power lines across their property. Putting them underground would cost between 3 and 9 times as much, so that's out. Last week, the energy regulator increased electricity prices, and a lot of that was due to rising transmission costs, as well as ageing coal power stations breaking down all the time. So more solar and wind is needed, and fast. But a cost blowout plus community opposition means that the plan to achieve net zero carbon emissions by 2050 has shifted. It's now all about getting solar onto as many Aussie rooftops as possible and equipping them with batteries to shift power from day to night. This is very bad news for the big power companies as more and more of their customers become self-sufficient.
After the break in sports, women's softball set for Palau and Hunters pull off win. Stay with us.
"24-hour service. Always there when we need them the most. They risk their lives to save mine. They are ordinary people doing extraordinary things. They are our everyday heroes. St. John Ambulance, trusted to care.
Give me 5!
That's right. With Digicel Cell Money, you can get a Give Me 5 plan with 5 gigabytes for only 5 kina. That's 5 gigabytes of data, valid for 5 days, all for only 5 kina. Whether you're streaming, gaming, scrolling, or staying connected with friends, you'll have all the data you need at an unbeatable price. So what are you waiting for? Get it today. Simply dial *888# to activate your Give Me 5 data plan. Only with Digicel Cell Money.
Did you know that you can get the latest updates on what's happening on the DTV app? 1. Open the DTV app. 2. Go to the profile on the upper right-hand corner of your screen and scroll down to push notifications. 3. Turn it on and you're good to receive notifications on the latest sports, TV series, and movies. DTV, your TV on the go.
Australia. From the dusty red centre to the sparkling blue sea. Join me, Rachel Griffiths, on a journey across this sunburnt country to experience Australia.
Nicely driven, just lent into it. Good chase, good dive, good effort. Edge, Terry takes the catch. And the skipper gets his first of the test match. That's the way to play. If you get a chance, you cash in. And 2 good boundaries in the over.
Well, that has been punched away beautifully. Oh dear. And that will be game done.
Trace Urban is Trace's flagship TV, exclusively dedicated to the best urban music and artists. Trace Urban offers a unique mix of the most popular American, European, African and Caribbean urban music genres. Trace Urban benefits from the power and musical expertise of Trace, which has endlessly promoted African music stars since 2003 on all its channels. Welcome to Trace Urban. We are urban music.
Thanks for staying with us. The PNG women's softball team looks set and ready for the upcoming Pacific Mini Games in Palau. With approximately 3 weeks left, the Team PNG's departure, the key focus is on maintaining its high level of intensity at training and with strong mindset.
Since the PNG women's softball squad was finalized, team manager Nancy Palin emphasized the importance of maintaining fitness and commitment to the training program. Palin expressed her appreciation for the dedication and quality of players, noting that the team consists of experienced athletes and newcomers. She highlighted that 5 to 6 players from the 2015 South Pacific Games winning team will bring their expertise and leadership to the group, fostering a strong team dynamic.
I'd say we have a good bunch of players. We have the young ones on the team. It's a good mixture of the young ones, and we have experienced players as well. I think we have about 5 or 6 who were in the 2015 SP Games, which with the experience, this helps the younger ones. They lead, the way I've seen them, they lead, they've been leading the team very well. On the field as well as outside, encouraging especially the young ones to come, who have now made their first appearance in representing the country.
While the expectations from the PNG Olympic Committee and sponsors are significant, Palin remains confident that the team will perform well and has medal prospects. One current challenge is acquiring 2 sets of uniforms from overseas. She praised the support from individuals and corporate sponsors who have stepped up to assist. Additionally, Palin acknowledged the input of national women's coach Ken Selu, currently in Canberra, Australia, believing that the uniforms situation will be resolved soon.
I think, like I said, we've had a positive response so far, especially with the help of our head coach, Ken Selu from Canberra. He's been able to secure some sponsors for us as well. So yeah, all in all, I think there's 7 teams, including PNG. So of course we have 6 teams to play against, and I'm sure that they'll be giving the team a challenge. So we can't be too relaxed, or we mustn't be confident because we won the goal in the last SP Games. So we just have to go in there, and the ladies have to just play their best. Like I said, I don't want to be overconfident about anything. We're going to go and play, make sure the ladies play their best.
PNG will be competing against 6 other Pacific islands, including American Samoa, PNG's rival from the 2015 Pacific Games. The stakes are high. The team is scheduled to travel on June 26 via an New Guinea charter and will compete until July 9, returning on July 10. 17 players, including team officials, are confirmed for the trip. Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
The PRK Mandy Murugs have maintained their position at the top of the Digicel ExxonMobil Cup competition ladder with 7 wins from 8 games. While the Murugs enjoy a healthy run in the first half of the season, the reigning champions Mount Hagen Eagles and Enga Miogs are among teams struggling with form at the bottom. The PRK Mandy Murugs, after taking down the then competition leaders Lacenex Tigers in a local derby in round 6, have been on top of the table since. This was the indication of the team's commitment and resilience in such a tough competition. They may look well-oiled machine in the first half of the season. The biggest question remains, can they maintain their winning run for the remainder of the season and take out the win? They have been in this position before, showing promising signs early and then fade in the later part of the season. If they can go all the way to win the grand final, they will become just second team in the recent years to win the National Rugby League competition without having a taste of defeat. The Lacenex Tigers are second on the points table with 5 wins, a loss and a draw. They are another title contender, and it's shown by the points differential of 109. They are 15 points over the competition leader Mandy Murugs. The other 2 genuine title contenders are NCDC Port Moresby Vipers and Croton Hella Wigmen, who are sitting 3rd and 4th respectively on the competition ladder. They have both shown glimpses of brilliance but struggled for consistency. Asila Wagitumbe, East New Britain Egma Gurias, Guest Resources Central de Barris, and PRK Gulf ISO are struggling to hit the mark where the top 4 teams are in. The ISO has been the most improved team in the last 3 rounds, winning 2 and drawing 1 matches, something they haven't done in the last 2 seasons. It's a fall from grace for the 2024 DGSL ExxonMobil Cup winners, Mount Hagen Eagles. They couldn't go the mile they went last year under new coach. They would be hoping for a miracle turnaround if they are to play finals football. The NPL Angamiogs also find itself in the similar position, struggling not only for form but passion. So much work is needed for the Angan team to turn their season around, while Kimbe Carter sits at the bottom of the table. The PNG Hunters held off a determined and fast-finishing Northern Pride side on Sunday in a narrow 22-16 victory in round 11 of the QRL Host Plus Cup at the Santos National Football Stadium. Hunters crossed 4 times with Elijah Roltinger, picking up a double in the 15th and 75th minute, while Alex Mex and Sunny Wabo also contributed tries.
Despite having to repel a late surge from the Pride, PNG Hunters coach Paul Ayton expressed bitter disappointment at the Hunters' high error count that kept their opponents in the game right till the end. Ayton highlighted that everybody wanted to score from every play, resulting in errors that did not help their cause. But they were lucky to get away with the win in the end.
Frustrating, very frustrating. They're really happy for Pride to come up. I know a lot of them, that was their first time. I think everyone bar 2. So they came up and spent the day here us there, so it was really, really good. And but yeah, to the game, frustration, I think. Yeah.
What was it like?
Yeah, we have times set in place already prior to the game, but then some Samlamangi also been finished, so it changes how we have to interchange, unfortunately. Right. But Appel's only 3rd game back, so we need to look after him as well. Yeah, I think main thing for us is just all in ball. I think everyone wanted to score a try, I think, today, which is really unfortunate.
The Hunters will now prepare for the next game against Redcliffe Dolphins this Sunday at the Santos National Football Stadium. For Northern Pride captain Nick Louis Toso, while it was another disappointing day for his boys, he credited the PNG Hunters for the win. He added that they were the better side on the day.
Yeah, all credit to the Hunters. They were the better team today. We came prepared to be a physical game, but I guess it was just a tough battle out there, especially at home. They're another team. They performed really well, and just credit to them, they were the better team today. Yeah, well, it's something that we've been working on. Just the last few minutes, we haven't been able to finalise the game and finish it off. And yeah, all credit to the Hunters. They held us out the last minute, and something for us to keep working on.
Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
The PNG Kumuls and South Sydney Rabbitohs flyer Alex Johnston has etched his name into the Rugby League folklore as one of the all-time highest try scorers in the NRL after reaching 200 tries over the weekend. The Rabbitohs winger Alex Johnston crossed the line 3 times against New Zealand Warriors in the high-scoring affair. Despite the effort, his side went down 30 points to 36 to Warriors. The 3-try against Warriors was his 15th hat-trick of his NRL career, which propelled him past Queensland Maroons coach Billy Slater, who had scored 190 tries between 2003 and 2018.
Egan, deep, here's Metcalf, intercepted, Alex Johnston is away, down the eastern sideline, the sun shining brightly on one of South Sydney's favourite sons, who goes in for an overall try 198. He's not the thief in the night, he's the thief in broad daylight.
Well, you just got to put it down to South Sydney's on-goal defence there. They got the repeat set, the Warriors. Looked like they were going to score for all money with him. And against the run of play, They've been a little bit unlucky a little bit earlier up the South Sydney side not to come away with more points. But this time, they're not denied. Look at that, full flight. Johnson scores there for the South Sydney side.
He knows the way to the goal line, especially here.
Which means the PNG Kumul's representative is 13 tries away to supersede Ken Ivan as the all-time top try scorers in the National Rugby League, the title Ivan has had for the past 52 years. The Rabbitohs winger is expected to close in the margin this year with a couple of tries as the competition just completed round 12 and has 15 more rounds and finals to go.
So far, here's Sullivan, now Latrell Mitchell, the long ball again, it's taken by Alex Johnston, it's a replay.
However, the PNG international is into final year of his contract and his future with the club is up in the air as he is yet to extend his contract. Should he extend his stay at the club for a year or two, he should likely break the record and become the all-time top try scorer. However, if his career ends this year, he will have to score over 12 tries to claim the prestigious title as the all-time try scorer in the NRL. That's it for sports. Now the weather forecast. In regional forecast, southern Port Moresby, sunny to partly cloudy with possible evening thunderstorms and showers, rain drizzles inland. Mamase, Lay, cloudy afternoon with evening showers, rain and possible thunderstorms. We were cloudy with occasional showers, rain drizzles. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau, cloudy afternoon with few showers, rain drizzles and possible thunderstorms. Kimbe, cloudy evening with heavy showers, rain and possible thunderstorm. And Highlands, Mediterranean Wabe, cloudy periods with heavy evening showers, rain and thunderstorm. Ocean forecast for PNG areas for the next 24 hours. Coral Sea, seas moderate to patches rough with easterly to southeast winds of 15 to 25 knots. Solomon Sea, seas light to moderate with northeast to easterly winds of 10 to 20 knots. Bismarck Sea, seas smooth to slight with east to southeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. Pacific Ocean, seas light with east to southeast winds of 5 to 10 knots. And coastal waters forecast. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru, Kiwai Island, Karamayul Island would point to Samare Island, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. And that ends the TV1 News. Pleasant viewing, good night.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by
Digital Business. We help grow your business with secure, reliable and